Welcome to Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go, a look at modern and retro games with a dark sense of humor. Introducing your hosts, Steve.
Well, I'm a wreck now.
Harry.
Put it in my mouth.
Clark.
That man had one testicle and hit home runs, goddammit.
And Joe.
This went off the rails very quickly.
Let's start the show.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast. Go! All right. I feel like as soon as I announce every game that I have to announce, I go straight into Steve Harvey. Like literally the first thing I want to say every time is, we got a good one for you tonight, folks.
All right, take a look at the board. Give me the top five answers.
We polled 100 gamers.
Let's see what they said.
Just kidding. It's just the four of us tonight. Sorry about that. But
Yes, please apologize.
Show me potato salad.
no.
Oh,
All right. So tonight's episode is brought to you by Deep Creek Glassworks.
Deep Creek Glass Works.
Making handmade durable glass goods since 2013.
2013.
Fucking nailed it.
10 years.
Yep.
10.
Dude, he's been hitting all of the spots lately too. Definitely check out his social medias because he has been everywhere in like the Southeast PA region lately.
Indeed.
He is definitely kicking up the outdoor flea market yard sale type seasons. Going nuts. He also has stuff available online on his website. DeepCreekGlassworks.com. Works is spelled WORX. And you can use our code SUPERFUN and get 10% off. And as always, your stuff comes in crush-resistant boxes.
Crush-resistant boxes.
With free shipping.
Free.
You ding-dang right. So yeah, go to DeepCreekGlassworks.com and use the code SUPERFUN. All right. So for tonight's episode, across the table from me, I have Harry.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck!
Next.
Back.
Why did it close?
You almost said it like a scientist.
Yeah.
Why did it
For
close?
God's sake, man, open the silo door.
Also across from me, I have Steve.
It's not our fault. Nature made them. We were only studying them.
Next to me, I have Clark.
I killed 12 dumbass scientists and not one of them fought back. This sucks.
And I'll be your host tonight. I'm Joe. Have you been able to get the beverage machine to work yet?
What an important question.
Yes.
Actually sounded like one of them.
So if you couldn't guess, we'll be reviewing the critically acclaimed Half-Life.
Ooh, not a full life, but Half-Life.
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 Yes. Half.
All right.
By the way, it's May 11th. Want to celebrate my anniversary losing my virginity. Boop, boop, boop.
Who's tracking?
It only took 50 years, but here we
Yikes.
are.
Today?
Two-year
You lost it
anniversary.
today? Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. That's a word for it.
Initial impressions. Mr. Steve.
I mean, this came within, was it the orange box?
It was re-released in the orange box,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
That was my experience with it, where there was like, hey, you can get Counter-Strike, but you need to buy this other, like, full bundle. I'm like, all right, let me check it out. And I never touched this one. I just went right into Counter-Strike. So when Joe was saying, hey, we're going to do Half-Life, I'm like, I finally get to play this game.
Yeah.
Initial impression.
Nice. Harry?
So I bought a package a long time ago.
You had the orange box.
Was it the orange box? There was 4 games in it?
On 360?
No, this was earlier. Like I got a PC box.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't-
Continue.
couldn't-
Yeah,
I
it's
couldn't-
probably 4 different versions of Half-Life.
It was
Well, it was Half-Life, Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike.
There was a blue and a green.
Yeah, opposing
It's-
force and blue.
it's blue force and opposing shift.
Oh, blue force and opposing shift. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the expansions for Half-Life.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't run it on my computer. So it just sat. And I was disappointed because I couldn't find it. So I had to purchase the game on Steam.
Well, I don't even think those work anymore.
Yeah, they do.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I have disk drive on my computer too, so I couldn't.
They even allow you to
Just put the
use
code
your
in and get it
physical
digital.
key and convert it to a digital copy.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
That's the way I did it.
Yeah, right?
So I
I
don't
don't have
know.
any of those discs anymore.
I got all that
I don't
shit.
know what happened to it. It was kind of sad that I had to just repurchase the fucking
I mean,
game.
it was like $3, right?
I think I paid 10.
Oh, man. I
man.
put it in the Discord so many times when it went on sale. It's on sale regularly for like $1.
Like all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
I've seen it more on
I bought,
sale
like,
than
10
I've ever
copies
seen it at
worth
full
then.
price.
Yeah. It's like 3 weeks a year. It's at full price.
Yeah. Harry picked one of those weeks.
Congrats.
stupid.
Sounds about right for your luck.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, you fucked up.
This is how Harry PC games.
Yeah.
Dude,
Quintessential.
I don't have my CD-ROM. I guess I have to buy it digitally on Damn,
I'm not a huge computer guy. I think we've made that known at this point in the
Stream.
show.
I think I have to buy it on Stream.
Do you have a key? Do I get that at Walmart? Do I get my key there?
I think I get keys made in the hardware section at Walmart.
Perhaps the Home Depot.
I do get keys copied at Home Depot. Anyway, so fast forward. So I assume, like, I think this game got a lot of hype for a long time. Like it's one of those games that, like, I think is just a nostalgia bomb in people's memory. But I had none of that nostalgia going into this. So this is a very fresh take, and I think this is going to open up a larger conversation later tonight. Let's just say I don't think this aged well, and I want to dive into that a little further tonight. I don't want to do the whole conversation here in the intro of the show. So
Sure.
Fair.
Clark?
I think I've probably bought this game about 10 times, like different iterations
Oh,
of
you
it.
caught
like,
up to Harry.
Yeah, like on disc, and like I bought the orange box on Xbox 360, so I had it there, and
Yeah.
it gets bundled in with everything basically. And I played it a bunch when it first came out. Never beat it, and then this is the first time I've actually sat down and just been like, okay, I'm gonna actually get through like the whole game without cheats, no cheats, nothing, none of that stuff. So yeah.
There were cheats?
Oh yeah.
Lots of cheats.
Impulse 101.
Did you use that?
Yeah, it's like the all weapons, man.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, fuck.
Dude, there's like God mode. You just you press the tilde key on your keyboard and it brings up a command prompt, and you
Cool.
just type in.
We'll talk about that in a bit and how I knew nothing of that.
Oh, man.
That's all right.
Didn't do it enough in Counter-Strike. Anyways, so for me, seeing more similar to Clark than the other guys, I think we talked about it in our PC retrospective. If you haven't listened to those, definitely go back and listen to those Mubbers series.
Do
That was
it.
a really great series
Right now.
But I'm pretty sure we got Half-Life basically at the same time. I think
Yeah.
I copied your copy,
Yeah, I think you copied my CD and then you had a key.
and then I just
Key
used.
gen.
No, I used.
we
your,
do not condone
I
copying on this show.
No, I used Clark's Counter-Strike key for Half-Life and his Half-Life key for Counter-Strike, and it worked.
Yeah, that's I remember that.
Yeah.
And then we were both playing online.
And it actually let us both play online.
It was wild.
That's wild.
That's keys back in the day, man.
Yeah. Later on, I have purchased it a few times. I did get the orange box for PC. I got the orange box for 360. I even bought a digital copy because my Steam account was compromised for a little while, and I couldn't get access to a lot of my games.
Way to cover yourself right there.
Yeah.
That you paid for it so many times.
Yeah. I mean, they got my money out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I played the shit out of it. Not necessarily the campaign though. Like Clark, I never actually finished the campaign. I played the campaign probably like the first 6 or 7 chapters. When it first came out and around that time frame. But mostly just played multiplayer and stuff like that, and mods and all that good stuff that came along with it. But yeah, so same thing. I was like, you know what? It'd be really cool to just go back and get through the campaign and kind of talk about it since everyone does seem to rave about it. I was
Yeah.
like, let's kind of get our own take on it.
Is there Half-Life multiplayer or is that Counter-Strike?
No, it's
It's Half-Life Deathmatch.
Deathmatch.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Counter-Strike is a mod of Half-Life Deathmatch originally,
Yeah,
before it became its own game.
Half-Life spawned like Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, all of that stuff. All
Yeah, they
happened
all started as
because
mods.
of Half-Life
Okay.
originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you gotta at least respect that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, dude, I think the legacy.
Well, hold on. Let's move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a jump into game development.
Game development.
Yeah, this is a better section for this for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Okay, continue your thought.
So
call.
Half-Life itself as a standalone game, it has its moments, and you know, in '98 when it came out, it was incredible, right?
Same year as Resident Evil 2, Parasite Eve, just for frame of reference.
Yep.
Yeah, way back.
So
I'm saying two of those hold up.
Tomato.
yeah. The most important thing I think about Half-Life's existence is actually like the legacy it left behind, because it spawned
So much change.
so much change in just how online servers were done, how lobbies were created, the modding scene. Like, it exploded. Like, there was a
Yeah.
modding scene for Doom, and then like Quake a little bit, and then Half-Life was just another level.
Yeah.
They made it so easy to use, like Gary's mod. Like, the list goes on and on and on of games that all spawned from this one game. And I think that adds weight to what I have to say about the game. Because
Fair.
there's the game itself and its legacy. No other game has done for video games what Half-Life has done in terms of like the direct lineage of it. Like, there are games that like, oh, like we kind of took some elements of this and some elements of this. Like, Half-Life is like, no, I am the bones of all of these different fucking games that are just worldwide fucking phenomenon. Like,
Yeah, it's the mothership, and that mothership spawned so many little babies, and those babies happen to be Team Fortress, Counter-Strike, and whatnot. And
Day of Defeat, like
it was
Yeah.
accepted by the developers, being like,
Ricochet.
oh shit, look at what has come from this. So let's actually support it instead of trying to like bash it down, saying no, this is infringement and whatnot.
Like Nintendo.
Exactly. And they really leaned into it, and it's like, okay, you know what? We can do something with this. And
No, sorry, that's Nintendo. Don't touch my IP.
Yeah, basically.
Nintendo.
Not Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo. Don't touch my shit.
But they really saw that there could be a market for these other mods, and they hit the ground running and just said, okay, well, let's develop something new around this, or at least kind of like mod around this, and let's make some money.
Well, Valve back in the day was hiring people that did mods to be on the creative team,
Yeah.
and then like
That's how they built their studio in the beginning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Counter-Strike had this World War II mod for a little while, and that turned into Day of Defeat. The person I think it was like 2 or 3 people that made Day of Defeat, the mod, were hired by Valve and then were the leads to create and then distribute on Steam Day of Defeat
Yeah.
as a standalone launcher, everything. And that was a fantastic fucking game. Fun little fact, I think that I'm fairly certain they're actually playing Day of Defeat in the office when they're all sitting around playing. Yeah, they're all playing Day of Defeat.
Yeah, when Jim's at the other office.
Yeah, when
The,
he's
the
at
north
the
office or
northern
whatever it
office.
is.
Yeah.
They're all playing Day of Defeat.
In Connecticut.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, so a couple other kind of background development notes. Clark briefly mentioned it, but it was developed by Valve. Valve was formed in 1996 by Gabe Newell and Mike Harrington, former Microsoft employees. And they did so with this game already in mind. They loved the way Doom and Quake came out, and they wanted to kind of build upon it. They actually licensed the Quake engine from id Software, which is kind of crazy for like a startup to be able to do that financially,
Right.
let alone like.
I think didn't Gabe Newell put his life savings into licensing the engine?
I don't have that data. It's possible.
I thought I remember reading that somewhere. That was like his big gamble. Was like, I'm gonna do this, but like,
That paid off.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's funny if that's the case, because I saw one thing posted that was, they had to modify the engine so much along the way that it was basically just foundational by the end of it, and
Right.
they had like 75% of it was brand new code anyway. But it just gave them like kind of a direction and base layer to really build off of. So, and while they were making this game, they actually were struggling to find a publisher before Sierra Online was going to publish them. Obviously, Valve doesn't need a publishing service anymore.
no,
Not
no,
now.
they don't.
But yeah, so Sierra would only sign them for a 1-game deal. And that was probably the best thing that ever happened to Valve.
Yep.
Was being like, oh, we get to check this card for this one game and go out and do everything on our own now.
Yeah.
Out of the success that they got
And
from Half-Life.
and they launched a banger back in the day. They were just like, cool, like, yeah, you guys have fun with that royalty money. We're about to build Steam, and basically, like Half-Life, because of the demand for
Yeah.
new servers, it eventually became 1.6, which is how they ran all their stuff, which was Steam, and it used to be just a search
finding
feature.
gaming servers and
Finding
stuff
gaming
like that.
servers, and then they started just selling. They just were like, oh, what if we just use our system to sell our games? And then a bunch of publishers were like, that is a fucking fantastic idea. I would like to sell my game through you. And now Steam's just like, yeah, we're having a fucking sale. Everything's $1.50. Fuck everybody. Like,
So in other words,
wild.
you're saying cha-ching, cha-ching,
oh my god,
cha-ching.
money in the fucking bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking title match at WrestleMania. Fucking let's go.
I'll climb that ladder.
But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it for the development side of this game and the studio and stuff like that. I think you can kind of get the idea of where they're at today and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about the expansions that came out. I'm gonna touch on them now so that they don't get fucked in with story.
Okay.
Fucked in.
Fucked in.
So the expansions you don't actually play as Gordon in. I don't know if you've
Gordon
ever played
in?
them.
I'm familiar enough with them.
Okay, so the one you're actually one of the police guys, basically the first guy that you see as you're riding the tram in the game.
Yeah, the blue one.
You play as that.
Oh, okay.
You play as
Okay.
that guy during the same event.
Interesting.
Okay, so that's Blue Force, and then opposing shift is you play as one of the grunts that you come across later on the surface, and you play from that
Oh.
perspective.
Yeah,
Like
one
the
of the
military
G-men.
grunts?
Yeah, one of the military grunts,
Oh.
G-men, trying
Okay.
to kill,
Okay.
trying to
Yeah.
go after Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
One of the ones, he's coming around the corner. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really an interesting thing that they did with their expansions, and again, like that also led to a giant boom of like, oh, everyone's like, oh, cool, so you can sell the game back to people, and you just like change the skin, and you make a new narrative. And it's
DLC.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
you really kind of get a lot out of your games, though.
Yeah.
Rather than
All the
building.
development work. Yeah.
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 More out of the games.
Yeah, like, oh, let's change some aspects, make it still fun to play. And both of
Yeah.
them, I think, came with full-fledged multiplayer as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think it was nearly as popular.
No.
anything
Eventually,
like
eventually they folded it all together.
Yeah, they did.
I remember because each group had different weapons that Gordon didn't have, and eventually they just all started showing up. They were like, all right, we're making an update to Half-Life where all of these weapons are going to be available in Half-Life Deathmatch. Mm-hmm. And then in Half-Life Deathmatch,
They just moved all the maps in and everything too.
and what was cool was when they did that, they had the specific guard and the specific person as playable skins also, so you could select them as your character when
Yeah.
when you're doing it, when they did the update.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's quick switch our weapons and move into story. The game starts like any other day for Gordon Freeman, except for today, he is arriving late to work at Black Mesa Underground Facility. Upon arrival, one of the scientists he works with lets him know, "They're waiting for you, Gordon, in the test chamber."
Nice.
Nailed it.
Joe's entire story is going to be all of the dialogue from the scientist
That's fine. Give me more. Give me more.
with just little bits of context in between.
That would have been a way better way to do
That would
this.
have been amazing. Holy shit. There's not enough toilet paper in the bathroom, Gordon.
They all talk like Canadians from South Park.
Basically.
Oh my god, it's an alien! I'm gonna fart in its mouth!
Sorry, Drew.
It's so close, though. All right. After suiting up, Gordon heads down to the lab and finds out that today's experiments will be deviating from normal, and they have a crystal of unspecified origin. Gordon proceeds to start the spectrometer and pushes the crystal into its beam. This triggers the Black Mesa incident, which opens up a rift between worlds. Unknown creatures begin to come through these rifts, and Gordon fights his way to the surface. Upon reaching the surface, Gordon is confronted by a military group who is eliminating scientists and aliens all the same. Gordon is forced back underground and finds that the Lambda team believe that they have a way to stop the rift, but it requires a rocket to be shot into space from the High Altitude Launch Center.
Gordon, you've got to get to the Lambda complex.
Call that my dick.
After getting to the rocket and launching it, Gordon gets captured by the military group. After waking up in a trash compactor, Gordon escapes the military group and fights his way to the Lambda facility, where he finds that the satellite launched via rocket earlier did not work. All right, get it out, Clark.
I was so sorry. You were like Gordon and I was like Luke Skywalker. They're gonna go fight
From the
Darth
trash
Vader real
compactor?
quick.
Yeah. Turn off all the trash compactors on a detention level.
Let me try blasting the door. Chewie, get down!
Put that thing away or get us all killed. I haven't seen that movie.
That's wrapped around my leg.
Good stuff. Gordon is instructed to find a portal to the alien world of Zen and try to close these rifts from the other side. Gordon eventually comes across a powerful being that is holding the rift open. He is sent through a random portal generated by the death of this alien. On the other side, Gordon meets G-Man, where he tells Gordon that his employers want to hire him. Gordon accepts and walks through yet another portal.
Or does he?
So that's the choice.
Yeah.
That's the only time you get to deviate the story. Is you
Yeah.
can basically go fight to the death aliens just in a battleground, basically. Or you can go work for G-Man.
I saved so much that I made sure that I did both. And both of them, I were like, okay, that happened.
It's basically setting up for the next chapter.
Yeah.
Gordon was hired by XYZ company. He was an employee. Or Gordon was killed. End. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Basically.
And the killed one like isn't even canon, so like
Yeah, yep. The canon is Gordon survives to the second half of the game.
To stepping through the portal.
Yeah.
I figured.
yeah.
Well, I figured afterwards. I didn't think it was going to end like that. I thought I was like refusing the bad guy quotations and going into like a boss arena. I was like, that's what I thought it was. I didn't know it was just going to go to rolling credits.
Yeah. It was like, oh,
You're like,
you
oh, that
did
was
not want
abrupt.
to join us.
Yeah,
Just go here. And then you're just dropped into, you're not going to live. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of disappointed with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and everything leading up to it.
It's fair. It's fair. It's kind of funny how much of the story is also like told by like we were kind of making fun of the scientists and everything like that, but like they're
Yeah.
kind of the story, which
Yeah.
is funny. Like there's a lot of like kitschy comments and shit like that all over this game with them.
because
like-
Gordon doesn't really talk.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought that was like kind of a fun way to do it.
He became like a fucking icon for not talking too.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like all about Gordon Freeman not saying a single fucking word.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, before him, you had Duke Nukem, who was like, yeah.
Boobs.
So at least he said something. And then Gordon's like,
Nailed it.
just nothing.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
Just for
I am all out of bubblegum.
comparison's sake, with shooters around, like I don't think GoldenEye came out too far before this. Maybe like a year or two would be my guess.
Probably something like
Fact
that.
check that.
Yeah. I don't know if that
So you
was
said
before.
98 for this game, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
pretty sure GoldenEye was like 96, 97.
I agree.
I feel like it was like a
97.
little bit-
Okay. So-
okay.
But like everything was like text from characters in GoldenEye.
Yeah.
This had actual voice acting, albeit very terrible, but it had voice acting
Welcome to PC.
Yeah.
on all of. So
Oh, like everything.
yeah. So I'll give it credit for that.
We're in
Sorry.
story.
Yeah, I know. I'm not trying to get the final thoughts, but
That's
that's
how
like
the story is driven. The story
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
driven
Yeah.
entirely by NPCs that you just come across.
voice acting is much more engaging than reading text off a screen.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion, it just kind of immerses you a little bit more.
100%.
And I feel like at the time it was actually doing more for like having like voice to characters, especially like NPCs, like the scientist you would come across. Oh, Gordon, I wasn't expecting you, but here we are. So instead of just text-based at the bottom in a little pop-up bubble, you know, you were hearing someone's voice. Mm-hmm. God bless them. They really tried hard.
It was recording when
Yeah.
find another game with voice acting in 1998
Exactly.
even this good.
Yeah, so it's definitely like a very very big grain of salt that you
Yeah.
got to take this with.
There were some. I mean, PlayStation was the console that had the voice audio because they could put that on discs. The problem was that Nintendo didn't figure out how to put voice on cartridges for a really long time. There's only
No.
a few 64 games that are like fully voice acted, and they're short. They're very short games.
Yeah.
like Perfect Dark has some FMVs that have voice acting in them, but that's it.
Well, that sounds that's an FMV. That's not even like
Yeah.
gameplay, though.
Right.
Yeah, that's like this. Yeah, this is like
But
in
that's
engine.
not
But,
live, where it's like-
FMVs were the only way that you could get voice on 64 really at all.
Yeah, it's like, oh, let me let you in. Let me scan my key card. Boop.
But like when we're talking about voice acting, like around this same time period, though, like Metal Gear Solid had some of the best voice acting at this time period for a game.
I think that's a completely different
I'm just saying in
scale that we can't even compare that to be fair.
Well, no, I'm just saying at the time, like we're talking about like PC games and Sony were the only ones doing voice acting, and
Yeah.
PC games were the ones that were really excelling at it. I'm just talking about like specifically like one of the best from the PlayStation era in Metal Gear was only, you know, a little bit better than this, and this is like mid era for
Yeah, you're
voice acting.
You're
in-
just
in
talking about
games.
Metal Gear
Metal Gear.
in '97.
It's true.
Just saying.
Well, I think we're starting to.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
going
we're-
all over
story.
the place,
Yeah.
but all good.
I don't have anything else to say about story.
Yeah, you don't really. There's not like a whole lot going on as you're playing it.
No, there's not really text files to read or anything. There's nothing extra to really read into the game.
Yeah,
Although G-Man shows up a few times. You didn't mention that. G-Man
yeah.
shows up a few
He's
times.
in like the first scene while you're riding the tram, and then
He's there when you're right before you move the crystal in.
okay, yep.
You see him like walk off of a platform or walk.
He's
like,
around.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You see him. Like he doesn't necessarily like say anything, but even there's like a random scene
Just like glimpses.
towards the end of the game where you're going through like the underground facility.
Yep.
Like and where there's all the little like jumpers on the ground, and you look right across the platforms that
And you see him walk through a
drop out.
door, yeah.
And he's like he's just walking across, and then whoop, just like
And
blips.
none of the aliens are fucking with him.
No,
No.
no.
Nothing is fucking with G-Man.
Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah. It's kind of what like I was like trying to figure out more information on this, and like it's just all speculative.
Yeah, that's
Like they like never expanded on like any of that stuff.
No, he's just there, and then all of a sudden, he's there at the end. He's like, "We've been watching you, Gordon." It's like,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I think a lot more comes out about it in like Half-Life 2, but I forget. I don't even think you're playing as Gordon in the first part of Half-Life 2.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I only booted it up like once, and because it didn't run on my PC at the time, and I never went back to it. I might now though, but
Yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah, do you want to take a break and move into story, or move into gameplay?
Yeah. Let's drive this wildly uncontrollable tram car
Oh, nice.
into fucking gameplay.
Gameplay.
"Oh God!"
Minecart Carnage.
Mine, yeah. Oh God.
So should we just start there? Changing the speed while also trying to move around and look on it was just
Not
the fucking worst.
great.
I kept getting stuck on the minecart. Basically, I would like be like, okay, I'm ramping up. All right, and here we go. Oh, I want to hop off now, and I like couldn't get off of the cart, and I like speed past where I'm trying to go.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah,
"Ah,
yeah.
son
Or
of a
you can't
bitch.
stop it in time.
Yeah,
or like
so now I got to back up, or you got to press E to disengage, but then it still keeps fucking going, and that was
Yeah.
a fucking problem.
oh yeah, and then you got to run for fucking 10 minutes.
yeah, and you're getting hurt the entire time, basically.
Yeah.
Well, I learned like when you start like turning a corner, you have to slow the cart down a little bit, and then just like kind of creep around. It's like, what's going on down the way?
Yeah.
and then I'll stop and wait and look. It's like, is there openings? No. Okay, I'm going to keep going
This thing gonna
forward.
throw me into a fucking set of
Yeah,
boxes.
exactly. Because sometimes you go around that corner, and then there's like the proximity mines that
Yeah,
have like
the
the little
tripwire
lasers.
things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
and then you're gonna blow the fuck up. So I need to look out. What am
Yeah.
I doing? Where am I going into? And the majority of the time, that worked out in my favor because there was either aliens or military people, and there was someone that I needed to shoot as soon as I rounded that
Crusted
corner.
that corner there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that and some of the platforming were annoying. Like,
Oh yes.
Oh God.
Boxes sliding as you're trying to jump on them.
Oh,
that was super annoying. Dude, the side of the cliff where you go outside and you're like trying to like go down like several, and then you have to go back and then climb back up
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
other
yeah.
side. I died more there than I think any other time I did in the game.
Yeah, I died most during the platforming.
Because you like, if you're moving and you get hit, it has that Half-Life Counter-Strike thing where you like sidestep when you get hit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You like
yeah.
stutter. And so if you're doing that midair and you get hit, it stops all
Throws
momentum.
you off course.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh god, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And then on Zen, it was really annoying because they were like, we want you to jump in a very specific way, but it's not the Counter-Strike jump. It's not the Counter-Strike bunny hop. It's something different. And I was just like, God, I hate this. To do the super long jumps.
yeah.
But it wasn't the Counter-Strike bunny hop, like the start to that. And it was just like, God damn it. Like, you couldn't have just had that be the quick, jump duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have so much of a hard time with that. It was just it seemed to be like a lot of different controls that you had to learn really quick towards the end.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they gave you a build up to, hey, you're going to need this in about an hour.
Every
and a
couple
half.
hours they didn't sprinkle
Exactly.
it in. Right?
It was
Yeah.
just like, hey, by the way, boom, here's a brand new mechanic that you needed to learn at the time, which, playing so many games under, the brand, it's like you kind of get it, but it just didn't make it cohesive with like the rest of the fucking game.
Yeah.
So I play with a controller.
Yeah.
The carts were not awful
Yeah.
with a controller. I felt I could control the speed pretty quickly and adjust it if need be, including reverse,
Yeah.
and just kind of like swivel off of that real quick. I didn't have any issue with that. It's a clunky system,
Yeah.
but
Fair.
it wasn't devastating.
Did it like
No,
Were you-
actually, let me speak on the controller before I forget about it.
Okay.
Initially, I had a lot of issues with the controller.
Well, yeah, this game was not made for a controller.
Yeah, I'm sure you had to use like one of the community profiles or whatever for controller inputs, right?
Yeah, and I like custom set everything after a while because
Yeah.
I was having real issues getting everything situated.
Yeah.
Makes
It's
sense.
nice that Steam lets you do that though.
Yeah, it really
Yep.
does.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like toggling through the different weapons was an issue for a while, and then as soon as I'd fix something, it would fuck something else up, and I mean, eventually I got it. I swear to God, it was like an hour and a half just setting up the controller.
I don't. Yeah, I hear you that sucks, but I don't think you can hold that against the game.
No,
because the game wasn't designed for a controller.
That's-
There's
yeah.
too many buttons for it, basically.
yeah.
Yeah. I think I mean I'm glad you got through it though and kind of
Yeah.
kept with it. The question I had about the cart was like when you were adjusting the speed and stuff, were you able to use the D-pad for that kind of stuff or was it still the joystick?
Oh, I think I had joystick.
Okay.
When you
Yeah.
When you
Yeah, okay.
input on the joystick like down to like slow down, would you have to hit down 3 times?
Well, I think I had to
or-
hit the activate to like lock on at first, and then I could just jump up or down. And it was actually pretty fluid, if I
Okay.
remember.
Oh, so you didn't
Okay.
have to be like up.
Oh no, I did.
Okay.
I did have to do that.
But still having to hit like an initial button to lock on to the controls, and then you could do forward or back.
Yeah, and then I unlock, and then I'm shooting while it's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't,
All right.
I don't know.
So not too different.
No, well, not
Yeah.
really. Maybe they're just a little bit better with the reaction time on a controller or something like that with it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Going back to your the platforming though, I
Yeah.
think that was my least favorite part of
Yeah.
the gameplay of this game. I had a real issue, very simple section, pretty early in the game. Do you remember when the pistons? There's like 3 of them in a room. The middle one's going down while the other 2 are going up, and you got to
Yeah.
like jump and
Yeah.
jump and then
Yep.
jump to that. So jumping for that, it sucked. I would fall off or miss the one thing and land. But
Take crazy amounts of damage.
yeah, and then eventually turning, but it was so narrow to jump to the top of that one platform that I kept bumping into the fence so many times. Like I think I hit the fence or like the rail like 8 times.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Were you jump crouching?
I mean, maybe I don't there's an open area. It just if you're over even slightly one way or the
like
other,
the collision was slightly
Yes.
off and you were hitting the edge.
Well, the
kinda
collision
thing.
I don't think was off. It was just too narrow. Like they
Gotcha.
it was just so narrow. You had
Not
to
forgiving.
No, it is not.
What I found was at least there was still a delay in the response of me hitting a control and the action in the game, and that had to be compensated for. Like,
Yeah, it makes it
Going
feel
down the
like
road.
it's loose controls almost.
yeah, it was very loose.
Yeah.
because there were some times where I was trying, like, and especially when whatever the tentacle baby thing-
Tentacle monster, yep.
yeah, in the end it's like where
Tentacle baby.
tentacle baby,
You're the one.
you're the one floating in the air shooting green things at me. Where am I at? And then
Zen.
where am I at?
Zen.
Yeah.
With an X.
So when it throws you in like the other dimension and you have to hit like the little jump pads to get to one platform to another, literally platforming,
Yeah.
like get to rise up.
Yeah, don't
Like,
play Ricochet.
Yeah. You it's like you had to be like 3 seconds ahead of your thoughts because you would run up and then your person runs up, and then it hits the pad up, and while you're like midair, is kind of like push forward and then go for it. There seemed to be a delay in the controls, which may be for the fact that this game is like almost 30 years old.
Yeah.
But that's,
Are you playing with controller?
No, mouse and keyboard.
I'm curious if your VSync was off or on.
I don't know. That's something that I can send to you or Joe, because you guys are way more in tune to that type of stuff.
I had something like that, and I turned it off, and then like my FPS like was just like perfect, and I didn't have that issue.
I just know when I was towards the end, like with Tentacle Baby, trying to jump platform to platform, that thing was a fucking nightmare.
Well, when you're on Zen, it's slightly different gravity. It's like 1.25.
Whatever
gravity.
it may be.
So
it
makes
was a
it
nightmare.
it makes it a little bit different.
Yeah.
It makes it
It's
a little
like-
floatier.
I can adjust pretty quick. That was a bit much, where it's like one little tap of the up arrow, and then all of a sudden, fucking gone off the platform, and I'm all the way down in the bottom of the cesspool of placenta, whatever's down there. I don't know.
Placenta. It's placenta.
That's where
always
we're all
placenta.
born from. It's,
Yeah.
it's
Always
always
placenta.
placenta. If you don't know, now
There's
you
always
know.
placenta in the banana stand.
There is.
Jesus. That's Harry being old.
Noises just kind of ooze out of me
So,
now.
so I kind of felt the looseness on the
Ooze,
controls.
good word.
Yeah.
Good word for that. That thing that's happening to your body. Ooze.
It's placenta.
It's always placenta.
So yeah, I felt some looseness on the controls, but I didn't think it was like a delay or anything like that. What I noticed was, do you remember Ice World?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
felt like that sometimes.
Okay.
Not quite
Skate,
that
like where you're on
exaggerated.
skates and stuff
Right.
like that.
So like
yeah.
you would jump, land, and then slide slightly.
Yep.
That shit was happening. Like you wouldn't like jump and then stick your landing. Like you would slide like sometimes on shit as you landed. And compensating for that was a fucking bitch.
I played this game like I played Counter-Strike. Like I even did like the actual like claw.
Yeah, yeah.
Like where I'm sitting there and I have like my basically
so
the
you can hit
entire
shift
time.
and control and
Yeah.
jump at the same time.
Yeah, so I can be like like
Yeah.
yeah. My hand was very sore because it's
You
like
can
a
cramp
really
up pretty
like
good.
yeah, it's like a claw basically.
For the listeners, Clark put up MS hand. So if you can envision that, where you don't have control and it's like a
Microsoft hand?
No, no,
yes,
no. Like
yeah,
more.
Microsoft hand. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
pterodactyl arm. He's doing great. Like Josh Blue, if you've ever seen that.
Jesus.
I have no idea who that is.
He's a stand-up comedian.
He's a great comedian with MS. Looks like this.
But yeah, like I played the game basically sprinting the entire time, so like that also I didn't get as much of the slidiness because
Okay.
it's very grippy. Then when you're
Yeah.
just like you're constantly
Yeah,
like
like,
I'm either
you'd have to, like-
sprinting or standing still, crouching.
Yeah,
Right.
like you would have to intercept your land with like a walk or a crouch or whatever
Right.
in order to prevent that kind of shit.
Oh, by the way, speaking of like your momentum kind of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
I did watch a speed run of like a 30-minute run through this entire game.
Nice.
That's insane.
And I think it was all momentum based, where they just like kept picking up more.
Turns into Titanfall.
Kind of,
Oh,
yeah.
was it a bunny hop speed run?
I think so. Yeah, I mean they were flying down these like corridors, and I was like, how the hell do you get that much speed?
Yeah, they're just jumping the entire time.
Yeah.
So there was this thing in Half-Life and Counter-Strike called bunny hopping. Counter-Strike eventually kind of patched it out.
Yeah.
But you could bunny hop by doing like the sprint and crouch and jump at the same time. And if you timed it right, you just start gaining momentum.
Yeah.
In Counter-Strike, it
Stupid.
was like 3 hops and then it stopped. In Half-Life, you could speed run the game, and yeah, I've seen people do it too. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So I used that as my guide for a little bit.
How did that guy get up there? He's just like running across the walls.
Blip, blip, blip. Oh, fuck.
He's like running across the walls, but that kind of momentum, the kind of momentum that he has, you had to start like 3 levels ago, and like him building up the momentum.
Well,
for
not like a speed guy, but like a where am I at in the game kind of thing.
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
30-minute.
Now I gotta say, those fucking boxes. Did you try to grab one and then all of a sudden it just fucking shoots across the edge of the screen?
The what?
The boxes.
Can you grab boxes?
Yeah. To like move them so you can get to like another level. And then
Oh,
every
to
once in a while.
just move them around or whatever?
Yeah.
I just ran into him.
Yeah, I just ran into them too.
It's like, because when
What
I
were
try
you using to
gra-
grab him?
E?
Yeah.
I didn't even try it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it
just
makes
tried to
sense now
grab
you say
that.
it.
You know,
and
I
then-
was playing with limited buttons on the controller. I got the ones that got me functional. I probably missed out on a lot of features of the game.
That's what I'm saying. Like you
It's
missed
like-
out on some stuff.
I tried
How
to grab
often
a
did you use your flashlight?
Occasionally, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I got
It's
that
like
one.
Did you
on.
have to like sub it in?
I made it. I think it was R1.
Oh, you didn't change weapons with L1 R1?
No,
I would use D-pad.
It was D-pad. Left and right on
that
D-pad.
makes sense.
Like, I try to grab a box, and then it's like, I grab one, and I can move it a little bit, and then if I look too much to one direction, it just fucking flung it.
And those are the physics that eventually made Portal. I'm not kidding.
Portal's,
you go.
Portal's in the same universe.
Yeah, Portal is. in
I
the
can
same
see
universe.
that. I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that explains it, because there were several times that... There was one where there was, like, one of the, compound, like, machine gunners that were, like, you know, had fortified defenses.
yeah.
And you can't, like, throw grenades or anything else. And they kept shooting down the fucking waterway. And I'm trying to, like, jump behind a box. And I'm trying to creep up. And I'm holding a box as a defense. And then I, like, slightly look left. And then I just... fucking threw a box all the way to the left, and then I was like, "Duh, duh, 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 duh." You're dead. I'm like, God damn it.
Distraction.
Yeah, and it took so long. That was probably one of the times that it took me about 20 minutes to get past, like, one little clip of
One little,
stage.
like, arena or area or whatever.
Exactly, yeah. Because of a goddamn box. And I tried to grab it and use it to my advantage, and I just kept fucking throwing it to the wayside.
Yeah, I didn't have that problem at all. But I didn't...
I wasn't grabbing boxes.
I was pushing them, yeah.
Yeah, I was pushing them.
I pushed when I should have pulled it.
pull.
When you
Pulled it.
pull up,
I pushed when I should have pulled.
Let me try
pull
that
out.
again. I pushed in when I should have pulled out. I fucked up.
Never pull out.
that's how kids happen.
I'm
Push it in, don't pull out.
trying.
18 years.
Sup, girl?
18 years.
Why are you pregnant? I pull out.
Harry's dad number 2. Dad number 1, because he made one.
Oh,
We have
okay.
proof he
I
made
thought
one.
Harry had 2 dads all of a sudden.
Instead, I have 0.
Say 0 to 2, that's a big step.
Fucking whiplash.
Got excited.
Oh, man.
Anyone else have anything for gameplay?
Nah.
Nah.
I'm going to save my conversation for final thoughts, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. I thought the shooting mechanics were solid. The actual shooting, like the aiming, the like all that stuff.
It was okay.
It's exactly what I expected.
Yeah, like
Or
it's
remembered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah, it's exactly how I remembered it. It's pretty crisp. It's
You know what? Actually, that brings
Predictable.
up
Yeah,
a good
predictable.
point. I put in like the all guns cheat.
Yeah.
Just to kind of play around with like all the shit. I did not like the high tier guns. I thought
No.
they were all shit. I
Yeah.
like the mid tier stuff the
kinda
most.
gimmicky.
The shotgun, assault rifle,
Yep.
like
So that's the thing. That's the thing about Half-Life is their high end stuff isn't actually high end. It's
Situational.
You go from the staples to experimental. So like there's a lot of really cool cases where you can use a lot of that stuff, but it's very in-game specific. Like like, oh, this works for this works for this. When you're getting charged by those big guys, you're throwing the mines everywhere. It eliminates them very quickly. The trip mines literally don't serve another purpose, though. Like, there's a lot of like weapons that are like, this is specifically made.
I didn't
for
even
this
think
enemy.
about using those on those ninja fucks.
Yeah,
They probably would have worked really well on
yeah, they
them.
do. They really
Yeah.
do. You know what also works really good on those? The things that seek people out, like the little bugs, little bug grenade.
Oh, the
guys.
sharks or whatever.
Yeah,
Hated those things.
Yeah.
they work really good on them because they seek people out.
Such a dumb weapon, though.
It is. It's a stupid weapon, but it's an experimental weapon. It's
Right.
just
It's so you can be like, go, and then you pull out your assault rifle.
And
Yeah.
you know what? I did like that laser thing, but there was never enough ammo. You just like piss through it in like one room.
yeah, because you get that basically at the end of the game. Like that's like basically like the last weapon you get, and that weapon is fucking awesome. It's just you basically have one charge for it. So yeah.
I'm done. I'm good on gameplay though.
All right. Well, let's go over to that fucking vending machine, see if we can fix it for the scientists, and move into graphics.
Graphics.
Graphics. 1998.
Dog stick.
I thought it looked good for 1990
99.
for 1998 graphics.
Yeah.
I think it's, and I know PC was a little bit. Well, I think it's always been ahead of the curve graphically.
It was the Wild
As
Wild
much as people will
West.
push it anyway.
Yeah, like it was like a big like unknown at that point. But I feel like they did very well for what it was. We can look back and say, scientist number 7, he looked blocky. Well,
They were all the
course.
same.
They're,
They were
Yeah.
they're
the
all
same.
Albert Einstein,
it's
Yeah.
all the same. It's like okay.
except for the black guy.
You have black scientist,
Morgan
white
Freeman.
scientist. Yeah.
No, there was Latino scientists. It was like, what ethnicity are we going to make this skin color? And they all sounded the same.
Yeah.
Garden, here you are. And, at that point, they knew no boundaries when it came to race. So, good on them.
So sorry, this I should have spoken up during gameplay with this, but
Too late.
I know
Moving
you,
on.
I know you could like get people to follow you. Did they serve much of a purpose
They do
besides
shoot and
Cotton?
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The scientists don't really serve much of a purpose.
No.
They're just cannon fodder.
Yeah,
essentially.
they are.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
You have to get one to follow you to open
Well, I mean,
a
some
panel.
of them
Open
open
doors
doors,
and stuff,
for
yeah.
you. That came in a couple
that's
times.
That's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
There's
Yeah,
a couple
the
times.
guards are good though.
Yeah, where they open doors for you if you bring them along. But
A lot
other
of the time,
than that,
a lot of the time, it led to ammo too. Like there was when you like first getting outside and there's like a white tank and there's like a long stretch and you have to actually like jump from one building to another. If you get the security guard inside that building to like go and unlock it, it's basically every single fucking gun and every ammo in the game, and it's like
yeah.
just load up.
like in the
It's like the second
The
floor
warehouse.
of that. Yeah, that one warehouse. Yep.
yeah.
It's like everything that you could want. You get full ammo for everything, basically. It's pretty great.
You feel like Duke Nukem. Fuck yeah.
You just hear that sound.
Yeah, I
700 times.
definitely stopped doing it though. I did it way more in the beginning because they would like desync and just stop following
Yeah,
randomly.
like, I'm just gonna wait right here, and
you
there's
have
like
to
a
move
fucking
so slow. For
there's
them
like
to
a
stay on
battle
you.
going on, and
Yeah.
they're just like standing in the middle, like, oh, I hope I don't get shot. Ah! Ah!
That's why there's like 2 or 3, so you can
Yeah.
get another one.
Yeah, like, oh shit, let me clear out all these people first and go get the second.
You'd be running down a hallway, and then all of a sudden, this is as far as I go. I'm like,
I'm not
you
going
fucking
any
didn't even get
further.
anywhere.
This is as far as I go. Help me, Freeman! As they're just
Yeah.
getting mauled to death
Yeah.
by a fucking alien because they're not keeping up.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
You just go back and whap them in the face with a crowbar a few times.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that in sound.
Kill him before he turns.
Graphically, though,
It's how you live your life. Graphically.
I think Inside the complex look better than outside.
Yeah.
I think the outside really showed its limitations.
It
quite
showed
a
its
bit.
age more.
It did.
Yeah,
it did.
they were like, okay, here's the ground, here's the ground texture, this 1x1 square, thousands of times as far as the eye can see. Here's what we think mountains look like, which are basically just tiger stripe, and here's the entire mountain range. There you go.
Bob Ross wasn't available.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how they built that game. You
Yeah.
know, like it's just like we're gonna take one texture. That's the entire thing of this section.
It worked though too. Like
More so on the inside than the outside.
yeah.
100%.
Man, I don't know what else to say graphically.
I thought some of the design of specifically like Gordon's suit I thought looked cool. I thought the weapons were like pretty decent for the for the time. The alien design was really good. The idea of like face huggers but not aliens themed face huggers was great. The head crabs
Head crab,
that just,
yeah.
like eat people's fucking skulls.
Turn them into zombies, basically.
You know, I
Yeah.
wish they had more of the gimmicky, like one-off shit. Like there was one room I went into, but then like the scientist got yanked into a vent or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I would have liked to
yeah.
see cool stuff like that.
Yeah, that would have been nice to definitely see. And you know, like I think G-Man specifically, his character model, it was like kind of terrifying. He's just got like the big, kind of like bulgy but beady eyes at the same time, and he's just like Freeman, like just like okay, you're...
So what's his name from Road 96?
yeah, basically.
Cab driver.
yeah.
Jared.
Jared,
It's Jared.
what are you doing in here?
Welcome to my cab.
Don't touch my tape.
Well, he's so unknown throughout the entire game. Like, you just see him walking around, it's like,
From Subway.
who is it? That's more terrifying.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, it's not allegedly.
It's
he's
not
in
allegedly,
jail
yeah,
for
he's
this.
in jail.
Yeah.
No, I mean allegedly it's Jared in the game. It's G-Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
you already know. It's like you're looking at him like, that guy, he's up to something. And then you find out in the very end, he's been up to something this whole time.
Don't know what though.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But do you want a job?
Diddlin' kids.
Oh, Jared.
Were we talking about Jared or
Jared,
G-Man?
right.
I was gonna say this is '98. He was still fat Jared, wasn't he?
He probably
Yeah,
was.
Yeah. He did not eat those sandwiches just yet.
Yeah.
Jared
He
Bagel.
got there. Jared Bagel?
Anyways. Graphics. Anything else? No. All right. Let's reload into sound.
Audio.
So who else hears that crowbar sound in their sleep?
Every time I close my eyes.
You don't need a flashlight.
yeah, you just hit the sparks off the crowbar.
You
You're
spin
fine.
until you don't hear it hit something. You walk that direction.
This ain't working. What are we gonna do? Cha 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 cha. Crowbar.
Yeah,
That's like the iconic thing from this,
Yeah.
and like the sound especially
yeah, and
for the crowbar, and also the equipment. Like when you pick something up, like that.
Yeah.
Like that is like that's in almost every single one of Valve's games. That's even in Left 4 Dead.
you know,
Pick, I think it's ammo. They have the same exact sound effect. They've used it in every single thing that Valve has ever touched.
so when that helicopter's chasing you through like the desert area, that's the first time. I think it's the only time in this game where you hear the Valve logo sound.
Yes.
Which I was like, oh, this is where it came from. Yeah. I don't know. I just had one of those moments.
I heard that when I was in like one of the sewers or something else, and it's like doom, doo doo. I'm like, oh, that's a thing. That's it. That's where it came from.
It's like when they say the name of the movie in the movie.
Exactly.
They said it.
I did it.
Nice. Yeah, I think that, like you mentioned, the ammo. I think all the weapon sounds, like, I mean, some of them are nostalgic to me, but like I enjoyed them so much. Like,
Yeah.
literally, like when I booted it up and I got the Glock and I like shot it and reload, I was like, ooh,
You're like, yep, yeah, this is just like
I was
playing
like- I
Counter-Strike.
was like-
If you go fucking, it'll probably be in Counter-Strike 2 that's coming out. That Glock is going to sound the exact same in Counter-Strike 2 that's about to come out, all the way down to Half-Life. Like, that
better.
Glock is the same. Like, it's really awesome. Like, the M4 is the same. Like, it's just one of those things, man. Like, it sounds like that like transcend one game to the next always kind of like it sticks with me because it's a sound that I hear frequently, like a ton of times.
Super familiar with it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we touched on it a ton, but the dialogue.
Yeah, the
They're
It's
really big.
It's terrible, but it's funny.
it's very campy.
Yeah,
and like if you can
yeah.
appreciate the campiness of it, like it's fun.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to like slog through a game, I can get how it's just annoying though. But
You can run away from it, and it doesn't stop you, though, at the same time.
true, yeah, you don't actually need any of the dialogue in this game to progress. You just need to know kind of like where you're going.
You
But
just-
still,
You
Yeah.
just really need to take it with like a grain of salt in knowing that if you play this in 2023, that this was made a long time ago.
oh yeah,
And then,
Yeah.
like, just kind of like the fact that there is voice acting was a big deal to hear voices like throughout a game. That's not gonna, give any like passes for it to
Yeah.
try to justify it. But I mean, really, it's
Something
like
to consider.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valve, big supporters of Canadians.
Oh, eh? Oh, you're looking for some aliens,
I mean,
huh?
they are based out of Washington.
yep.
Oh, it's so
Makes
close
sense.
to Vancouver. You know what they got in Vancouver? Some great cheese curds, my friend. You come up there and they slap some gravy on it, throw it on some potatoes. We're good to go. Don't ask. Just continue. You just keep pushing forward. Be Half-Life.
Okay. Let's be Half-Life. Anything else for sound?
Oh, well, about those cheese...
The music was like kind of weird sometimes because I was like, oh, this is kind of a rock music song.
Yeah.
It threw me off a little bit sometimes.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is this? I don't remember this at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh.
Why was this never used in a mod? Like, I was like, okay, all right, yeah,
It like
let's go.
threw me off, but I was like, okay, I kind of dig it. Like after a minute or whatever, I was like, oh, okay.
I'm gonna murder all these fucking aliens.
You knew when things were about to pop off real quick. When you just,
Yeah.
It's like, what's that? Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Oh my god, that is a giant either tank or weird tank-like alien creature.
Nailed it.
To the Amorphous Blob.
It's an amorphous blob. Amoeba.
I like that. I will say, just real quick sound effect. That one enemy sound effect that powers up and gives out like a pulse.
Oh, the ones that spawn in through the portals.
Maybe.
That like there's
They
like
have,
a
like-
green flash.
I don't know. Every time I turned around, they were there. I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
if I.
So
Yeah.
they do that on purpose, right? So they only spawn when you're not looking in that direction. So
Okay.
they basically have like a green portal with lightning strikes that pops out, and then they come out of it.
Okay.
They shoot the little laser at
Yeah.
you or
Yeah.
something.
Because you hear them
The
before you see them,
electric.
typically.
Yeah.
Because you hear the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on there?
You all know
Oh,
the sound if
God!
you ever played the game. Like,
yeah. That's when you do a 360 spin real quick just to find the portal.
Yeah, you're like, ah.
You're like, oh, spin the portal. Where is it?
360 no scope.
Pow, 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 pow.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for sound?
Yeah.
Nope.
All right. Let's stop the cart and hop on into final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Can I kick off a discussion for this?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Harry,
So-
final thoughts.
So something I wanted to discuss, and maybe we can delve into this a little bit. So, I know this is a pretty cherished game from back in the day, but in my opinion, does not hold up very well. And I started thinking about that a little bit, and I was like, well, what makes it not hold up? And I was thinking, I think it's the genre specific. I think shooters more than other genres don't hold up because a lot of shooters rely specifically on the graphics. And just throughout the timeline, graphics are going to progress. So the shooters don't typically fall back on the storyline. Storylines can hold up depending on the generation. And the gameplay doesn't really hold up specifically because shooters are basically cut and paste. It's the same concept no matter what generation. Shooters are just
shooters. Yeah.
Shooters are shooters. Like strategy games and everything. Like even though they might get outdated, as long as they have a fun mechanic, they can still stay relevant and fun. Shooters just, I think, outdate, and there's nothing that really keeps them. I don't know. Other than I even think going back to Doom might be like a nightmare at this point.
Oh yeah, Doom
The
would be.
first Doom.
Yeah,
That would be tough.
I'm just saying. Like I think as a genre, I think other genres can outshine more than like a shooter genre, and that's what really.
Do you
holds
remember
it.
when they gave
Yeah,
Doom
I
away
don't
for
know.
free on 360? Mm-hmm. I played it then. I played the whole fucking game. That still held up. It held up better than this.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know
my
if I
opinion.
agree with the graphics comment though.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Like-
think it's
Well,
necessarily
that's why I
graphics.
thought we'd
Yeah.
open this up to a discussion a little
Like-
bit. Like,
Right.
I could more easily go back and play this than I could go back and play a lot of other games that came out that year.
Sure.
Like,
Sure. I like. Sorry, just to, like jump off of your point there. Like I could go back and play GoldenEye. I wouldn't have a problem playing GoldenEye. Graphics literally does not affect my nostalgia and the fun that I would have playing GoldenEye.
I wouldn't be able to do it without two sticks.
would you go back to play the campaign, or would you just be doing it for the multiplayer?
Multiplayer. Now that's the thing. That's
It's part
the
of
thing.
the game.
Yeah. I think games that have a built-in multiplayer and you can go play that multiplayer, like I'll be completely honest, I played like 5 or 6 games of deathmatch of Half-Life Deathmatch for this, and I didn't really talk about it much. I mean, we talked about it in general, but like playing through the campaign, playing through the multiplayer, I still think about I didn't uninstall it. Like I might go play Half-Life Deathmatch again. Like it does have that nostalgia factor. I think it's more the feeling that you get on the parts of the game that you enjoy. So some people that really enjoy the single player, I don't know that GoldenEye. I never had a 360 or a 64, so I've never played the full campaign of GoldenEye. I remember the multiplayer, and I think the multiplayer is something that I would go back and play. But to the same thing, like I like to go back and play shooter first-person games that I really enjoyed the story for. But I mean, like, dude, Counter-Strike hasn't changed. Counter-Strike's been around since 1998, and it's still basically the same thing. You can still play all the classic maps. You can go into Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and you can basically play the clone of the 1998 version of Counter-Strike that came out. Still great.
Yeah.
Still great.
And anybody else have thoughts?
I think you swayed me a little bit, Harry, because now that I really think about it, and thinking about like GoldenEye, it's like I think I feel like I hold more nostalgia for what the game was at the time, or at least like, you know, being like a derivative of Half-Life being like Counter-Strike. Mm-hmm. But more so when you said like GoldenEye, it's like I know what I liked about it, and I don't think this would actually hold up to my standards today, without me letting my past feelings of the game I played 20 some years ago like getting in the way of it. I feel conflicted. I don't like it, but I feel like I kind of maybe turned a bit of a corner on my experience with this now. Really thinking about it, but we can get there with final thoughts and whatnot.
So, one thing to kind of note on your point there.
Yeah.
The one thing about shooters, though, is that you don't have to worry about quality of life improvements. Like, it just is not a thing, right? You go back and you play like older games that are like more text based or whatever, right? Like, as you mentioned, they're kind of more of a slog sometimes to get through reading all the stuff and kind of actually driving through the story without progressing in multiple ways at once or anything like that. Like, there's no inventory management system that like is antiquated or anything like that you have to deal with, right? You know what I mean? Like, I think of like managing bag space in some games, in older games, was rough, and that kind of thing, right? You just never have to worry about that in shooters.
It's a simpler game for a simpler time too. Like, you look at modern shooters, and almost every single one of them does have like loot management in some capacity, except for like core staple things that haven't changed, like Counter-Strike, for example. You don't have like inventory management in that.
There's no backpack to fucking put shit in.
But like even Modern Warfare, not the multiplayer, but like Warzone and stuff like that, like backpack management, item management, that stuff's in there. Like, so if you want like the simple classics, I think that's actually where the nostalgia picks up. Not everyone's into that.
I hate that shit. I hate the inventory management that everybody's been putting in the shooters. It turns me off.
It's in everything. Yeah. It's in everything.
It's awful.
It's fucking mind-boggling. There are certain games that I'm actually drawn towards where they don't have that kind of stuff.
It's just simple and it works.
Yeah, but like now that like Call of Duty's adopted a bag, everyone's like, "Oh, come on, oh my god, that's going to be the next fucking innovation in gaming." But the problem is, it's been happening for 4 years. Call of Duty finally just fucking caught on, ruined it because their fucking inventory management sucks. And like so if you want something simple, that's kind of where you dip into the nostalgia, and that's kind of where I feel games like this still excel.
I guess I haven't played any of those games. I have no idea what you guys are talking about with like the bag management.
Yeah.
But I haven't played a lot of modern
Think
shooters.
about Resident Evil backpack, like management of your inventory.
Dude, don't you remember H1Z1 where you had to like grab bandages and looters and shooters and stuff like that?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Like that kind of stuff. Like that stuff. H1Z1 was one of the first ones to do it. And their system is clunky as fuck. And like some of these new systems run really well. But it's still like
pretty clunky.
This is now the meta for if you put a shooter out, you need to have good bag management. It's not do you want bag management? It's you have to have good bag management.
Yeah, it's rough.
So like that, like that's where the nostalgia factor. Like, dude, seriously, it was very sweet and simple to just like play some Half-Life Deathmatch. Like it was different. It was different from what I'm playing now.
To only have to worry about swapping weapon and nothing else.
Yeah. Yep.
It was kind of refreshing.
Fair. Very fair.
And that's what I think that's why Counter-Strike specifically is still a huge draw. You go in, you buy exactly the loadout that you want, and that's it. You have the pistol that you want, you have the gun that you want, you're used to it already. There's no weird fucking mods on it. No one else is going to have a better fucking weapon than you. It's all just skill-based after you buy the fucking loadout that you specifically want. And I think there's something to that. I think that simplicity makes that game like almost timeless.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just continuously update. They do small little like, oh, we like tweaked physics on like a few of the bullets. Like,
yeah.
I just want to play some Counter-Strike right now. I need to go home. I'm out.
Well, maybe maybe it's more specific to me though. But I think this game would have been amazing to play in its heyday.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it was ahead of its time for that time. And the unfortunate thing is, I played it 2 decades too late.
For sure. For sure.
Two is being very generous.
Yeah, and it's really painful, I feel, this late in the game to go back and play a game like this.
Fair.
Now,
Fair.
I would say, if you think that was like a generational game, I would suggest Half-Life 2. Now, don't go buy it because it's usually on sale for like $4. I'm just saying, just add it to your Steam wish list.
I don't have any interest.
So here's the thing with the Half-Life games, right? So they don't come out very often, right? So they did Half-Life, they did Half-Life 2, they have a Half-Life Episode 1, Episode 2, they have Half-Life Alyx. whenever they release a game, it's like they push the fucking hardware and technology and everything in what they do.
Yeah, it's
Right. So the same idea with Half-Life and kind of how you're picturing it when it came out in 1998 and how you were like, you would be like, wow, if I got to play this in 1998, I'd be totally blown away. Right. They've been doing that with all of their games since. Like Half-Life Alyx is their first VR title. And it's been out for what, 4 or 5 years now? And it still blows every
yeah.
other game out of the fucking water.
Yeah.
Like it's not even close.
Alyx came out for the 20th anniversary of Half-Life.
Okay, so 2018 then.
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, so like that's kind of their thing. Like they don't come out very often, but like when they do that, they fucking push the boundary of a game.
Yeah, and it's like basically like Gabe Newell runs a fucking empire, but when it's time to make a new Half-Life, he steps down from like being basically the president and he like gets involved with making the game and all of that stuff. Like he gets hands-on with only Half-Life. They're a big deal to PC gamers, and they always have. And you know, I was just thinking about this. I was like doing the math. I was like, oh, we're like 5 years away from the 30th anniversary of Half-Life. I wonder if we're finally going to get Half-Life 3.
I know people have been talking about that for a long time.
Half-Life 3 1. They've never made a number 3 game. Left 4 Dead, Left 4
Yeah,
Dead 2.
I know. I think they have a reputation
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Were they
Portal,
involved with
Portal
Half-Life
2.
2?
Yeah.
Or not Half-Life 2, Left 4 Dead 2?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
just Turtle Rock. I thought they just produced it.
Valve
No,
was
there's
still in
no
there.
way.
Yeah, it was
it's
still
like-
Valve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do fucking Valve back of the head.
Yeah.
Fucking dude.
Yeah.
He's still there.
It's still there. Anyways, let's move into final thoughts. Unless we got it all out.
We're in final thoughts.
That was kind of. I think I wrapped up my final thoughts. Just
Does-
all of that. Blah.
Wrap it up, Shane.
I really honestly personally don't have much more to say about my
Yeah.
final thoughts. Like,
It was a group final thought.
yeah, like almost. I mean,
Sorry.
the only thing I'll say is like I think this is a generational game. In 1998 when I first got it, it was an incredible experience. Playing it now, it's somewhat forgettable. Back in 1998 though, like this game fucking changed
A lot.
PC gaming in
Forever,
general
yeah.
forever.
Yes.
And just like the ripple effects of that, like even right now, I don't think it's like an incredible game, but for what it did and the impact that it had, and from what I remember playing it basically as a kid, I can't tell someone not to play it because it's just a classic, and you can either appreciate it or not, and like it might not be for everybody, but I think it is just flat out a classic game.
Steve, any final thoughts, Dad?
You know, actually being able to play this game for the first time, which I feel slightly ashamed admitting that. Thank you for just bringing this to the table. I feel like this is a game that every person who enjoys a first-person shooter should enjoy, or at least should experience, because this is really where it began. You
Yeah.
know, it was like this, Unreal and whatnot. And I don't know what else I can say like past that. I'm just you know, it's good to play. So
Nice.
do it. Just do
Just
it.
Just do it.
Call me Nike. Just do it. Swoosh.
Man. So, man, my final thoughts, man. This game was exactly what I expected. I mean, like, I kind of knew what I was getting into it. It was, like, it kind of mentioned it. Like, it was so refreshing to just be like, no, all I have to do is shoot this thing, and I don't have to worry about some fucking managing some other bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, it was health, shield, weapons. Like,
Are my boots degrading?
yeah, like there's no item upgrades. There's no fucking reputation to build with some fucking civilization. Like, it was just a shooter. And it was
Straight to the point.
yeah, man. I was like, I've been just missing just a straight up game like this for so long. And I honestly, I picked it And I didn't realize that until I was actually like getting into it and a few hours into it. I was just like, that's kind of nice, man. Like
Yeah.
I need somebody to just put out like a new game like this. That's just, you know, slimmed
Simple,
down,
yeah.
straightforward, like to the point. You know that, because I was like, I don't need all the fucking bells and whistles. The bells and whistles are the parts I hated about games the most.
They just don't make games like this anymore.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
Fine with that.
yeah,
Goddamn kids these days.
yeah. Outside of the slidiness, like controls, didn't mind it. I was like, man, these are some of the stuff. I was like, this is better than fucking today's shit. Like, but yeah, this is my final thoughts. All right. Let's make a decision with the G-Man and give it a score.
The score.
Hey, you guys can step into my portal any day.
Clark, you want to go first?
I think this game is a buy. I bought it at 60. I bought it at 40. I bought it at 3. So yeah, I think it's a buy. Half-Life and Half-Life Deathmatch come with it. So it's a classic. It's worth playing. To have an opinion on, at least.
Steve?
Totally biased. This is an A. So just go buy it. Do yourself a favor. If
That's
you
my
never,
rating system.
if you've never actually played this game or anything within the series that spawned off of this, just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Do it. Just do it. Thanks, Shia LaBeouf.
Harry?
Well, I know I'm going to get crucified for my score, but having said that, before I drop it,
Let me get the nails.
I understand that it's timeless and it was an awesome thing in its heyday, but I did not experience it in its heyday. So I'm going off of what I got at this point in time. I'm giving it a 2.5. That's going to tie with Destroy All Humans.
Oh my god.
Oh, come on.
Jesus.
Yikes.
Even for
God.
me, that's a little rough.
I don't know. I had a lot of issues.
We know you do.
You should have played it on keyboard and mouse, I think, too.
No, he would have never finished it.
Yeah, I know. No, I would not have. And then my score would be probably even lower.
Well, just you wait for Destroy All Humans 2. There's an expansion pack.
Yeah, no, we're good
we
on
can
that
aim
one.
for that first 0.5
All right.
score that I give.
This is a 0.
I have a goal.
All right. So I'm gonna give this game an 80. Ties with Gauntlet for me, which I think is appropriate. Very classic game. Simplistic gameplay.
Dig it.
Works.
How I've always looked at it, especially with trying to rate something from nostalgia, is basically like it can be a classic that you play now and you're like, okay, I'm glad I played that, and just, I've appreciated the pantheon of things that have come after it, like that's how I've always seen it.
I mean, I could always say Echo the Dolphin for my next game. So exactly.
Steve sometimes with these fucking comments from left field. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. That being said, let's wrap it up, folks.
Stay
Sounds
lovely.
good.
Stay sexy.
Stay safe.
Love you guys.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media and all streaming platforms at Superfun Podcast for more episodes. If you enjoyed the show, tell a friend about us and consider becoming a Patreon member for more exclusive content.